and I found that someone has been adding soil to my garden. And gentlemen, let me tell you, the plot has thickened.
I hate you all.
It's me. I'm back.
Oh my God. It wasn't Dave. I thought he was broadcasting from 2 locations.
Through the power of teleportation. No. So, should we just call this surprise Lowak?
I host 1 episode, and this is what happens.
Anyway, it is Friday's Eve. You are watching Figure Action, and if you're watching us on YouTube and watching us live, make sure that you pop into our live chat because, as always, we love our audience and we love participating with you. So if you are in the live chat, we'll be sure to interact with you throughout the course of the episode. Thank you all for tuning in. I am your host, ExtraZero, and joining me tonight is the usual cast of characters. And as always, we are Figure Action. If you like what we're doing, make sure that you smash that like button. If you want to catch up and see when we have new content, make sure you hit the subscribe and the notification bell. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce my co-host, starting off with my doppelganger, Trustarscreamer. How are you doing, man?
Good night, everybody.
He's frozen.
No.
All right.
He's speechless.
He's speechless. Well, while he thaws, let's move along to Partsformer. How are you, man?
I'm holding a dog. There wasn't a dog here last week, and now there's a dog.
Lucky you.
I mean,
that's how I am.
Shouldn't that be part of your hauls?
It was going to be, but she jumped up here prematurely, so. So sneak preview of my hauls. Here's Maya. Maya, say hi.
You've got hauls, she's got paws.
No, haul with paws, yes. She's a mutt. Right. Despite what Adrian may say, she's a dingo. She looks like a dingo.
I mean, she kind of does when you hold her up. Then has she eaten any babies?
Only 2, but and the third one we wrestled away from her. So I don't think that counts. That's not enough to be a pattern.
I just
it's not a habit.
We have dingoes in America. They're called something else, but that must be one of them.
You hear that, Maya? It's true.
And he's back. He's back. Dave, did you thaw?
Good night, everybody.
Only partially.
There you go.
He looks like an animated GIF from
I transferred my internet over there to him.
Yeah, right. He sent his Boost Mobile internet to North Carolina. Anyway, while Dave buffers, it looks like Anthem. It sounds like Anthem, but no, it's a crab. Joe,
what's going on?
What class are you? Are you the
Right now, I'm the ranger.
Okay,
classless.
Yes.
I had to
I have no class.
He has no class.
So
I am the one that is like closest to Iron Man.
Okay, see, I picked that ninja class, and then I realized I was in the most feminine body. It's like they didn't do like what they did in Destiny, like where you get a male. They're like, do you want to be male or female? And I'm like, I'll be a dude. And then it's like you get the male body, and you get that armor, and you're like, hey.
I haven't tried that
right
one
at home.
You know what? It felt right, Dave. It felt right.
This is 2019, so anything can be right. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Was it feminine with a bulge?
It's armor where you're required.
Everybody.
You have to sit when you pee. All right, now that you're buffered, Dave, how are you doing?
I am buff. I am buffered.
No, you're not buff. You're not. Don't say you're buff.
Dude, I got the guns.
I mean, maybe on display on your shelves, but
I got the guns.
This show has crabs.
Oh God. Well,
we don't deny it.
But I am doing well, though.
I'm glad to hear.
I mean, you're here.
Yeah, right after a hiatus. I mean,
Optimus Prime has returned and yanked the Matrix away from Hot Rod.
Now hold on. I got to ask this. Is this the Optimus Prime that returns from the Return of Optimus Prime, or is this Dark Awakening where he's all chewed up and spit out and missing his eye?
I like to think that I'm the Dr. Smooth version of Optimus Prime.
Like, give me that fucking Matrix.
Yeah, where I tell Hot Rod that the best decision he ever made as a leader was bringing me back to life.
Because I gotta tell you, that episode of Dark Awakening, that as a kid, that was a little freaky, man.
I agree.
Scary shit.
You're like, he's back, but I'm not sure that I like it.
Yeah.
So hopefully for the viewers, that's not the same case as like he's back. I'm not sure that I like it.
Had Pet Sematary released before that came out?
What the fuck are you saying? Like that's my return as Pet Sematary.
I don't wanna be buried in Pet Sematary.
Remember when the wife came back and she was all messed up and nasty?
That was everybody.
Who owned the land of your house before you bought it? Was that ancient, burial ground?
I'm too cheap to pay for a surveyor to come out. So
it may very well be, is what you're trying to tell.
Yeah, right.
So if you find a steak crawling across your counter, you know.
That freaked me out. That whole movie.
Yeah, that's a movie I don't go back and rewatch.
It's like when an actor goes away for a long time and then they come back and they're all decrepit, like Nick Nolte or Randy Quaid.
Yeah, both of them have seen some shit though. Like,
it's like did they bury Randy Quaid in Pet Sematary? And then he just he's like, yeah, what a.
And then you got Gary Busey.
Oh god. Well, Gary Busey technically did come back from the dead. Like he was in a bad motorcycle accident. And that's why his teeth are all fucked up.
He's his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Gary Busey's seen some shit. We're just not all convinced it was actually real.
I think Gary Busey is the opioid epidemic.
Yeah, I mean, he is the shit that other people see. So that's
seriously.
But seriously, Gary, if you're watching, we love you, man.
Right, Gary, hit the subscribe button.
And Gary, I loved you in Lethal Weapon and Predator 2.
Yeah, Predator 2, where he's like, man, this son of a bitch look crazy. It's like, you think? I mean, no, I'm asking you. I mean, do you think he looks crazy?
Rookie of the Year. I was trying to think of the name of that movie. Rookie of the Year. That's really what I know him from.
Throw that ball. I'm gonna do some meth over here. Man. All right. To keep it moving along, you know him. You hopefully love him, and you've probably clicked on some of his videos. TMan 978. How the hell are you doing?
I am awesome-tacular. I got a bunch of crap. Oh, and I forgot to bring it in here.
Yeah, you just came from a toy haul. This man not toy haul, fucking toy hunt. He came from a toy hunt. He was down on the wire. We were like, is he gonna make the show?
And I did. I have a question for Mark 44 Prime. Is that just a coincidence? MP44. He's in the audience.
Oh yeah, Leon's been Mark 44 Prime way before they even announced MP44, which, I've been meaning to hit him up. Like, how do you feel about the coincidence? Was it like fate?
No, he can predict the future, apparently.
I know.
He's like Nostradamus.
Throw some lottery tickets in the chat, or lottery numbers in the chat,
or tickets, whatever.
Or tickets. I'm not picky.
Throw them in our inbox.
Slide to our DMs with them.
We're so lazy. We don't want the winning numbers. We just want the winning ticket.
Yeah, we don't have to go buy the damn thing. Like, come on. That is
he responded back with Gary Busey is the sleep paralysis monster. Which, can you imagine like waking up in the middle of the night like that, with that sitting on your chest, like, hey, how the hell are you doing? I'm Gary Busey. And just all those fucking teeth right in your face.
And that's why I stopped dating a British girl.
Ooh, man.
Damn. Insulted an entire nation of people.
Man.
It was either that or stop dating a senior citizen. Then you wake up with her teeth on your chest and you realize she's still sleeping next to you.
So you went on a no denture adventure?
I mean, we're more likely to have people watching our show than senior citizens. So,
and
Thu just posted, "I'm out." No,
So he says, so he wrote back. Mark 44 is actually the Hulkbuster. That's actually pretty cool. I mean, well, people have asked me about ExtraZero, and you know, not many people realize that was from 08th MS Team. It was a Gundam.
Okay, now
Imagine
knowing,
that.
I feel stupid not knowing about the Hulkbuster part. But now, if you really want to be a cool elite geek, when you get your MP44, you have him fighting the Incredible
The
Hulk.
Hulkbuster.
No, just have him fighting the Hulk.
Yeah, well, yeah, that makes sense.
And then you'll be like, oh, you didn't know that? Even though we just learned that about 2 minutes ago.
Anyway.
I got to look at my toy haul to remember what I got.
Okay, well, we'll get to that.
Did you click your own video?
Yeah. Did you get Mystique?
No, I got the lady to look in the back and everything.
Damn. I'm probably gonna go out tomorrow. I'll see if I can find one for you.
Oh crap!
There you go. If she's the $20 price, never mind.
No, it's gonna be $13.99.
Oh, look at this. Speaking of 44, here's a guy in this game. His name's Big Joe 44.
You should friend request.
That's Joeception right there.
And then it's just telling him like, my name's Joseph. make it really weird.
Can you send him a teabag? Can you kill him and then send him a teabag message? Like
no,
code teabags on his face?
This game is strictly PvE.
Yeah, there's no PvP in this one.
Oh man, I'm officially having mecha quality control issues.
What's up?
My Leonardo, his sword sheath is kind of maybe I don't know if you can see on that side if I do it like this. The short sword sheath is starting to split in half down the seam.
Oh yeah, how about that?
Yeah, get some Loctite. I don't know, put it back together.
At least yours wasn't lop-eyed, or cock-eyed.
So what? Breaking my nunchuck on my Michelangelo wasn't enough?
Still haven't opened my Michelangelo, so I can't say that.
I still don't have any turtles. My cousin asked me what I want for my birthday, and I was like, if you give me those GameStop turtles, I might be happy.
Dude, I just burned through the entire IDW run of Turtles. I know I've been spamming you guys in the chat about it, but if you have not been reading that comic book, that is a fantastic redo of the Turtles.
I gotta check it out.
And they're Ghostbusters too.
Reading for losers.
IDW Ghostbusters is amazing.
Well, and they cross over actually.
Well, then that just gave me incentive.
Well, what's cool is it's a relaunch and it's done by Kevin Eastman. So it's like done by one of the original creators of the Turtles, and he's doing his own alternative narrative to it.
Yeah.
And it works really well.
Who hasn't the Turtles crossed over with yet?
Probably well, I was going to say Hellboy, but then again, in Injustice.
I don't think they crossed over with the Golden Girls either.
Not yet.
But I'd like to see it.
Joe, you want to cross over with the Golden Girls?
Yeah,
I do.
They'd have to
Blanche.
They had to lock Blanche up.
I took him on a no-venture adventure. And I thanked him for being a friend. Oh. I was waiting on somebody to ask me how I was doing.
We already did.
No, you did.
We know.
I thought
Zero, how are you doing?
Zero, how are you doing?
I am doing well, thank you.
He's doing less good that he had to fish for.
I know, right?
How's your fishing game?
How's my what game?
How's your fishing game?
My fishing game. Yeah. Well, I got you hook, line, and sinker. So yeah. And then boom, Sportimus in the chat says, "How are you doing, Extra?" I'm doing all right. I'm back. I had so I'm not gonna go into detail. But there were some family issues. I on my 34th birthday, I hurt my back, so there was that. Yeah, it wasn't nothing major. It was all just I never gave myself any rest. I tried to get myself back in the gym, and I pulled a muscle, and it was a realization of doing too much with this move, and
that's what he did on his birthday.
Yeah, really. No, that's what I did on my birthday. I was on a low road machine. I hurt my back. Had some family health issues I had to help take care of, and it's just been very busy. But things have calmed down, and I'm back. And I'm here, and I'm enjoying being back with you guys.
How far along is the house?
So, the upstairs is pretty much set up. The last thing we have to do is to get the bed in the guest room. We have to get the cable rerouted to the basement so I can actually watch TV down here. We're pretty much done painting the upstairs bathrooms, and they're going to be usable by this weekend. And then really the only thing other than that is we just got to get the new wall plates and electrical outlets in, and then it's boom, it's a house. Well, I mean, it's been a house, but I think we'll be pretty satisfied with
a home.
It's a home. I mean, even as it stands right now, we're pretty satisfied with where it stands. So I need to finish getting my shelves up together. I'm going to be doing a floor time with our boy Deluxe tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that if you're not subscribed to him already, which I'm pretty sure you should be. Hale Hasbro Reviews. I'll be doing a top Optimus Prime video with him tomorrow. So we'll be going live around, I believe, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Tell us what time, because he just
bam. Yeah. I'll try and help him out with the promotion. So
Super Saiyan Donnie.
So I know I don't necessarily have a haul, but I mean it's been a minute since I was here, so I got a lot of stuff to go over, and it sounds like you guys might too. So starting with Trustarscreamer, what did you get this week?
I hope I got enough time. I don't want to knock anybody out. Okay, not really. I got Mystique. That's it. But I got Mystique. 2 days before she went on sale. Because I didn't know about it.
Well, wait, can't you go back with
your receipt?
Yeah, and just get a price match? Like, do they
if I had the receipt.
Go look for it.
Do you have a Walgreens? Do you have a Walgreens card?
I do.
Well, yeah, I mean, they should be able to find your receipt with that. Just go in there and be like, I mean, dude, $7 is pretty much half of Marvel Legends figure. I mean,
that's
shit, if you go in,
extra value mail.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you get your $7 back, you just turn around and buy another Marvel Legends figure while they're $14.
I don't need anything. I am officially caught up.
Well, then have $7 more in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? Go get lunch on your way home for your.
We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it is so cool being caught up with Marvel Legends. Let me tell you that.
I still need to go back and see. I've been curious to do some metrics as far as like what the total amount of Marvel Legends that came out in 2018, because it was staggering.
It was, and it looks like 2019 is not going to flow.
So say 2019 is just
Well, I mean the one thing that they're doing is they're redoing the Infinity War wave and re-releasing Thanos as a Build-A-Figure, which on one hand I'm worried that that's going to cause some clutter in the market, some figures to shelf warm, because unfortunately Wasp is I don't know why Wasp is shelf warming. She's a good figure.
Yeah.
But it's just like I guess they packed her too many to a case.
It's her and Spider-Woman and another female figure that are just lingering.
I'm pretty sure the Iron Spider will sell, and Thor definitely. Anybody that didn't get not Scarlet Witch, Black Widow definitely will go back and get her. So, but man, yeah, it's kind of disappointing to see they're doing that. But I guess it for a lot of collectors, it's a break, man. It's relief. They've got too much stuff coming out. I mean,
I still have no idea when I'm going to put the Xavier in chair.
You know what I wanted to ask? I'll get into this. Now I guess. Well, no, I'll save it for after the hauls. But I've been thinking about it with the hyper real figures. I was wondering, do you guys think that they're going to do that for Marvel Legends? Given how popular Figuarts and Hot Toys are, and Mezco, I get that there's the market already, but
they should do Spider-Man first. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, they got to do either Spider-Man or Wolverine. Those are Those are like your two litmus tests. I mean, either that or make an Iron Man where he's got good articulation and, you know, like all the panels open up and
So you're saying like a domestic high price point or high end, like a $70 or $80 equivalent of
yeah, like 8-inch scale.
Yeah,
like do a scale that nobody's doing.
I'm sure there'd be plenty of people to jump on that.
I mean, I personally, I don't think Hyper Real is going to be successful because
they started with Darth Vader.
Well, yeah, it's like they're starting with Vader, and Vader doesn't necessarily show them what they can do with the line. Their best bet for starting the Hyper Real really would have been Boba Fett.
Boba Fett would have been. I would have done with. I can't argue with that. I mean, I can see the logic with Vader because even if they only do Vader,
it's Vader.
It'll be an amazing display piece.
Yeah.
But Boba Fett would also be an amazing display piece.
Like Boba Fett has such a following. His, you know, and Boba Fett figures sell out like pretty much like that. And I also think the reason why he would have been a better choice is, you know, the make of Boba Fett's costume is so diverse that it would have given you a better feel of how the line is going to be.
I have no arguments.
I think they should have started with somebody with a face.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Show that off. I mean, your Luke is obvious, or Leia or something like that. Probably Luke would have been your obvious.
Robot hand.
I think I think really Han Solo would have been the better human choice.
Yeah.
You know, do like a, you know, episode 4 Han Solo, because again, like, you know, if Hyper Real ends up being like dolls and they have like real hair and everything, I think that that's going to be a turn off for the line. And like with the Boba Fett, it's like one of those things where they kind of get everybody, you know, it's like, well, I can at least have a cool 8-inch Boba Fett. And then if the materials and the articulation and the build and everything, they're doing like metal skeletons for this line, that blew people away. It would probably get them to bite on the next figure. So you do Boba Fett first, and then boom, you do Han Solo. Oh shit, I got to have a Han Solo to go with my Boba Fett.
I very much don't think that they would go that. I agree with you on Han, but I don't think, because it's Star Wars, they're gonna want to put a lightsaber in somebody's hand real quick.
I say Vader first, then follow up with Return of the Jedi, Luke. That's a display. Even if those are the only two they make, that's a display.
With Marvel, if they were to do a Hyper Real line, right, or whatever they would call it for Marvel Legends, or Legends or something, I think that the best thing that they could do is to do a Captain America with the actual likeness of Chris Evans, since Hot Toys is the only company to actually get it right. And
a Red Skull.
You know, I wouldn't even say a Red Skull. I would say like do Captain America and then outline Black Widow, Iron Man, Hulk, you know, that sort of stuff. Because, you know, people want their core Avengers.
I like the idea of hero adversaries. You could actually have them paired off like in a...
They ain't gonna do that. Look at the 12-inch line where they never released the villain yet.
Yeah, and then like you have fig arts, and like I love fig arts, but it's like, what villains do you have for any of the Marvel fig arts? You have Thanos and Ultron. You have Ultron too.
Did they do a Loki?
No, they haven't done Loki yet, which is, it's shocking given his popularity. And, you know, the fact that he's also a bit of an anti-hero. But
and dead.
But the other thing about Loki is he's had like what, 3 or 4 costume revisions,
right?
Maybe 5.
But I mean, he's definitely not going to be ruled out because he's got his own show coming to Disney Plus. So that right there is going to be your opportunity to easily get one.
Yeah, I think that if they do any more villains, well, they will probably do more villains with fig arts, but I think Loki is the logical choice. But before we get to, that just happened across my mind. Like, you know, I think a Marvel equivalent makes more sense than Star Wars, especially since Star Wars is kind of struggling to, you know, even the Black Series, despite its leaps in.
I was gonna say that Mace Windu.
Yeah,
I saw the Mace, and then I looked at that the one from the Captain Marvel wave, and I'm like, that's not Samuel L. Jackson. That's Samuel L. Jackson.
I think the where Black Series has like really struggled to find its stride is that they've been making characters based off of concept art. So, you know, like with Rogue One, they really missed the mark. They made a version of Cassian and a version of Jyn that just didn't look like those two characters did for the majority of the movie. They were not recognizable costumes. So it was kind of like the old Kenner effect, right? Where you'd get like approximations.
Rogue One was hard to do just because that's it. That's the only time you're going to see those characters.
Well, not only that too, but they missed the face printing technology by a year.
Right, exactly. So,
on the other hand, Scarif Troopers are one of the best things that ever came out of that line.
Hey, you know what, Dave? It's funny you say that. The Scarif Trooper that I picked up is my favorite Stormtrooper that I've got in Black Series. I agree with you.
How many kids do you think Rogue One was their favorite Star Wars?
I mean,
all their dads. Every one of their dads.
Yeah.
But if kids liked it, then they would have sold more.
I mean, I don't begrudge anybody that mentions Rogue One and Empire Strikes Back.
I think if anything, like Rogue One probably sold a crap ton of Vader figures to kids. You know?
Oh, Rogue One Vader scene.
If they were still woke at that point in the movie.
oh, that sort of woke.
Mm-hmm.
Man, language in 2019. All right, before we get too far off topic, let's get back. Let's wrap this up. Partsformer, what did you get this week?
So I had an odd week in acquisitions and hauls. I'll start with the easy thing is that
acquisition and Paws.
And Paws, yeah. So I'll start with the easy thing here, and that's on Amazon. I've been tracking the price on Akira, and it dropped below $10, so I nabbed her. I needed her. I wanted her. So now.
You said Akira. I didn't see what you got.
Yeah, Star Wars, not.
Oh, nothing. I was like looking for like Tetsuo or
no, Kamada. Right? Yeah, sorry.
How much was she?
9 or no, 8 and change or $9 after taxes, something like that. I threw her in my wish list and just checked it every few weeks, and she finally dropped down. So I picked her up. I got yesterday in the mail. I got the Tamashii. So Tamashii calls them their thunder effects, but thunder is a sound. I don't know why they're not called lightning effects, but I got the Tamashii thunder effects. And it says that on the box, and the box is way over there, so you're just gonna have to trust me. But I got those effects for probably the thing you've already seen if you follow us at all. Is a thing that I am super proud of. That it's not the best done in the world, but
yes, it is.
So
yes, it is.
I've shown this off a bunch of times. I worked pretty hard on it, and I'm super happy with the way it turned out. My Flame Toys Starscream has been re-engineered into a Sunstorm, and I love him. And I had to get lightning pieces to go with it, so that's.
Now you need another one.
So I've toyed with the idea of now having to have like 4 Seekers when they come out with all of them. I don't know. We'll see.
You needed a brother.
Yeah, shut up.
I think it turned out really well, man. I think it did a good job. It's cool to see like the Dame Shock retreats, and
I will say I did take my time, at least for 90% of the time. I did just like do what I needed to do, set it down, let it dry, because I can be impatient. So
yeah,
wanting to get to the next step. It was only at the end in assembly when I started to put it together that my problem was I started to snap the legs together, and I thought, wow, this looks better than I thought it was going to. And I didn't want to wait for the rest of it to dry, so I had to like walk away. In fact, at one point on Sunday, my wife said, "You're hovering over the table. Please walk away." I had to, like sitting there, literally waiting for the paint to dry. So that went really well. I was happy with the way that turned out. First custom I've ever tried, and I got to tell you, it was a good enough experience. Why I would certainly want to try doing it again.
Yeah.
So that was that. And then you saw the dog at the beginning of the show. My wife has wanted a dog. We ended up getting the dog on Saturday. It's a mutt. It's a Chihuahua,
Dingo,
Dachshund, and Lab mix that is from Texas. So
Did you say a Datsun?
Yep.
I thought that was a type of car.
Dachshund. The hot dog dogs, whatever.
Otherwise known as a wiener
Oh,
dog.
a dachshund.
Oh,
Dachshund.
a dachshund.
There's
Okay.
no K in it. I don't say the K because it doesn't exist.
It's
didn't think
part
there was a
wiener
K.
dog.
It's a wiener dog. So she's part Chihuahua, wiener dog, and lab, and she's from Texas. And I feel that she was streetwise at one point and probably had a band of other dogs that they sang with in the alleys.
Did you watch Oliver and Company before going to the adoption center?
First thing that I thought of when I started to hear her story, I was like, "Oh, why should I worry?" So,
what is the dog's name?
The dog's name is Maya. Like the name.
I like how I said Mutt McCardle and nobody like reacted.
Who says
no?
Yo, like when before you got the dog and I was like, "What's the name?" Mutt McCardle, and like it just like in the chat like went.
One of those comments that just went to die.
Yeah. Oh, I was like, I was sitting there like, this is the cleverest thing ever.
Welcome to my
I
world.
laughed at it, but I didn't
Welcome to
realize
my
it.
world.
And then the last,
I remember laughing.
yeah, we chuckled. We just didn't, make a big deal about it.
You gave me no satisfaction.
Just know that we were laughing.
Welcome to my wife's world. Wait,
Oh.
wait.
God damn, that's okay. Then the last thing that I got, something I can't overly share, is that for my birthday, my wife did a photo shoot for me. And I finally got she finally got the book in. So that's
Can we see?
So I figured someone would say, "Can we see?" So I did pick out one picture that I can show. She might, if she comes running, if she's watching and comes running down the stairs to strangle me, you'll know what happened. So
do you actually refer to it as a fat folder?
Not yet, but now I will. So there's the one picture I'll show you.
I hate you.
No, I will. I'll show you one picture.
Okay.
There's the picture. There's one picture from the folder.
Hello.
So the rest I'm not showing you.
Our likes just went up.
So
that's not the only thing.
That is
that got awkward, TMan.
I think that's I just brushed past that. That's all. That's all I got. Next person.
All right. Aside from Anthem,
Stop giggling.
What did you get, Joe?
I didn't have really a haul this week. I did actually get a good deal on Mezco Wonder Woman, and it finally came in the mail. But I mean, that's been out for a while. I was keeping an eye on it, and I was like, if I can get one for like around $40, then I pulled the trigger on it. And somebody was selling one for like, it was $45 shipped, no box or anything, so I jumped on it.
Well, bet you.
But other than that, yeah, I don't have any hauls this week.
Well, that counts.
Yeah, I did. So I did order off of eBay probably my top grail item, which is the Monster Arts King Ghidorah, the original. And I won't say how much for it, but I was hoping it would arrive today. It's coming from New Jersey, and it didn't quite make it, so I should have that tomorrow. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
You said Holy Grail. I'm going to say this for everybody in the chat that's live right now. If anybody sees Solid Chagok and Voltron go and pre-order while we're in the show, please blast the chat and tell me, because I need.
Yeah, that's your grail. This is probably like on the same level that you've been wanting that. I've been wanting this.
I've been checking Amazon Japan every day.
I've been checking every hour.
Every hour, Jesus Christ!
I mean today, because I knew it's coming up on time for them to post stuff. So.
Man.
Oh no, it's gonna fucking happen, and I'm trying not to pay BBTS's prices over and above.
Well, didn't BBTS already sell out?
The one that was posted was one that got in stock. They found like a few months ago. The same thing happened where they found stock or Bandai released extra stock. So BBTS charged their BBTS finder's fee price of an extra $150 on it, so like $450. Or whatever it ended up being total. So I wasn't fucking buying that because I knew that it was going to release retail for what, $295 or something like that. So
yeah,
Amazon Japan still got it for about $700. So we're not.
Yeah, but that's like that's a private seller.
I mean, right.
I'm still waiting for that vehicle Voltron.
They should both drop it. Are they both? They might both drop at the same time. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the vehicle Voltron's
Like
the only
all-
one I'm waiting on. Like I'm just gonna, as cool as it would be to have like a set in line mode, it's not my MO. Is like I at least just want the vehicle Voltron. Like I don't need the second set.
I must.
BBTS is my favorite store right now, he says sarcastically.
No, they're going to sponsor you. You just wait.
Yeah.
They're going to appreciate your honesty.
Then that tune will change.
Well, wait till my video releases.
Which one?
I'm doing an unboxing and I complain about how long it took to get the pack.
They took an extra 2 days to lovingly pack your order and make sure it gets to you safely. So you know what? That's extra customer service, pal, and you ought to thank them.
Right.
I fell asleep at the wheel.
And then ask Jesus to take it.
He might be the one delivering the package. You don't know yet.
He needs to speed up.
You're gonna have to wait till Easter, I guess.
Oh yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, but yeah, Easter jokes. I like it.
TMan opened the cave 3 days later and found his package.
Jesus. Wait.
And Dave still didn't believe it.
We are just going to piss off all kinds of demographics this episode.
I know,
Is
right?
it my turn?
So
It's your turn.
British people. And let's go down the
Oh,
list.
we're still
Is it my
monetized.
turn?
We still could be monetized so far. So far, we can still be monetized. Unless Matt shows more pictures.
I mean, I've got them.
We can't see him though.
Oh, my wife's going to kill me.
Well, my screen went pixelated every time you held the picture up.
That would have been a good idea. I'm not that clever.
No, that actually happened to me. Like, the signal just pixelated for me.
I'll tell
back
you
to
what
the
I tell
90s.
everybody else is you can watch all of our previous episodes on YouTube. And you can just pause that screen and then longer.
That's true.
I'm going to be curious what the demographics of this episode is going to be. The analytics, sorry. The analytics.
She hasn't rushed down to strangle me, so she either isn't watching or didn't care. I don't think she cared.
Or is she sharpening the knife?
No, she wouldn't. She'd use a dull knife.
Okay.
Well, what I got this week is I found 2 Fortnite dudes that I've been looking for forever. I had this on pre-order at Amazon, and I walked into GameStop and seen them sitting there. I was like, let me cancel that pre-order. And I went ahead and bought him Rex because they have a sale going on right now. And what else I get? I got the SH Figure Arts Harry Potter because that was $25 at GameStop. And
for that price, I would have picked him up too.
this was $25. Thank you for the heads up, ExtraZero. I still haven't opened it, but I got it.
I'm surprised you haven't opened it because, like, the R-Wing you can actually do stuff with. Like, you can mess with the wings and everything.
I haven't played the game, but I had to take the R-Wing out at least.
I had too much stuff.
Yeah.
And, Mike the Hunter traded me this Cogman.
Oh,
so
nice.
I finally stopped complaining about that. And, what else?
Is the Studio Series Cogman the same one?
I think
It
it probably
is
will
with
be.
better paint, I mean. And I bought something that cost a little bit of change.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see it at some point on my channel.
Yeah, except for we just all saw it right there.
But he won't elaborate.
Well, I got this pretty lady, Miss Athena, TB League.
Oh, yeah.
Joe's eyes came away from the screen.
Yeah.
It's
I've
funny
been
he
eyeing those
actually
things up,
likes
too.
it when the women are shown. How about that?
I don't deny it.
She kind of looks like Scarlett Johansson a little bit. Just blonde.
She got a bit of a nose on her, don't she?
Not really.
Maybe it was the angle.
Yeah. With the wide angle lens. You'll see.
Can you, like, Can you tell like what kind of joints they use underneath the? Like you can't peel the skin back or anything and see the skeleton.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I wouldn't even try it. It's a metal skeleton.
Joseph, could you fillet her for me?
Are you going to get your own photo book made up of that?
I'll give you her number. I mean, it's really nice.
He's gonna put her face on.
I'm curious.
It's metal. I could feel it underneath of it, but you can't peel the skin off without tearing it up.
So you can't tell like what the ankles are like. Are they just like a ball joint or?
Oh, the ankles and the wrist
are universal.
Metal. They're metal ball. It's like a post. It's a metal ball post on the ankles and the neck and wrist. And I'll give you a preview. Look, the ankles can go all the way freaking back.
Damn.
Come forward.
Holy shit.
Ankle pivot. I just popped it off the socket, so never mind. I went too far. But you saw the range. The wrist can do the same thing. And her neck also. But it feels like she has like multiple joints in her midsection, like it's actual vertebrae.
Nate Simmons says our next episode is going to have to be on Pornhub.
Oh, well, Sportimus also said we put the anal in analytics. So
there may be a chest reveal in the review.
Can you do that?
And are you talking about the figure?
Yeah, the figure.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I've seen it on a whole bunch of channels.
And the hands are like interchangeable, like figure arts, or like
Yeah.
different posed hands, or are they?
She has 3 different sets of hands. I wish she had another head sculpt in there to not look so bland like they like to do for female Hot Toys and female Marvel Legends sometimes.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I mean,
know why, but she reminds me of Charlotte Flair.
they're kind of meant to be like a build your own action figure. I know in the DMV Action Figure Society, right? Like Stephanie, she's like she and her husband Sven are like big into Fison, and
Awesome
she's made her own 6 scale figure. I mean, not 6 scale. Are they 6 scale?
Yeah, 1/6. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's made her own 6 scale figures. Like she made her own Wonder Woman before there was one, and like Starscreamer said, like really amazing work.
My only issue with like making a character like Wonder Woman or Black Canary, I think she made one.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
This area of the body is too slender for those characters to me. Now this one standing straight up, it might be what she's wearing. Her butt doesn't look as flat as those models they had.
Yeah.
But it can get into any humanly possible pose. And probably inhumanly possible pose.
Right on.
And what made you get that particular one?
Athena, just because she looked the best to me. And I did like Athena in God of War.
All right. Did you get anything else this week?
Well, if I did, I don't remember. Oh, I got this pack of bots, which I don't have any of these.
And I need that chainsaw and the pizza and the mono-eyed lollipop.
I don't know what's in here. Want to find out live?
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Sure.
Like Series 2 is supposed to be out.
No, I don't have this one either. It's a stapler.
No.
Nice.
But it's not a red one.
It's not a red stapler?
No.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity.
What's that a reference to?
Oh, man, you really don't
Office
know?
Space.
Even I know.
It's been years since I've seen
All right.
that.
Well,
Yes, you can remember an episode. We were arguing about a Dark Awakening and you're able to contribute to that, and you were how old when that came out, and Office Space was
I watched Dark Awakening
99.
like 50 times probably.
All right.
Office Space only watched once.
Why? It's amazing.
Yeah.
They punch a printer.
I was
They do more than
my
punch printer.
stapler, my red swing line stapler.
No, I saw that part like more than once.
Okay.
No, I mean the part where they beat up the printer. And I saw the Family Guy parody of it.
Superion is judging you. That's what's going on right now.
He has no right to judge. He took his wings off.
No, his wings are on.
On the legs?
Yeah.
Wait, does he talk?
I don't have my batteries in him yet. So he does talk, but I have no idea what he actually says. There's like a low quality YouTube video of it. I just wanted to see that he could. And then it was the same across both heads. Because they actually give you the comic head and the toy head, or the toy head and the toon head, I should say. So
did y'all see those Shopkins based on real food products?
I did not.
Like Pop-Tarts and Frosted Flakes and Fruit Loops.
Shopkins will never enter my house.
until Kira really wants them, and then it's what do you do?
Dude, I had to fight the whole LOL thing.
Oh, really? Man.
Tooth and nail.
All right.
LOL surprise.
On a more positive note, I have a lot of shit this week I got to get through.
Go for it.
So, since I haven't been here, I got a few things. I just want to say thank you to my very lovely girlfriend Alexa. She actually got me the Zeta. Man, I can't even remember his Silver Arrow. Thank you, Silver Arrow for my birthday. I was very glad to get that so I could complete my Superion. I can't remember whether I said I got down thrust or not on the show, but yeah, I have a complete Zeta Superion, and I love him. I think he's way better than the Bruticus. He holds together a billion times better, and you know, I'm glad that I stuck this set out, and I know not everybody was impressed with the individual aerial bots. I think that they're better than the Combaticons, but this set, this combined mode as a whole, is probably one of my all-time favorite combiners. So I'm really glad to have him, and I just need to figure out a damn place to put him in on my shelf. And Nate, yeah, I want the Fans Toys one, but for the individual bots, and then just to have those cartoon-looking aerial bots, and then have like a really, really imposing combined Superion on the shelf. I think it's just going to be awesome. Another combiner component I got, I've been waiting a very long time for MMC's Inventa, and
you don't know really him either.
Yeah, no, I know where I want to put him. I'm trying to make it work, and once I get him up, I can figure out where to put my Diaclone stuff and my movie stuff and my IDW stuff. So I'm still working on my displays. So I don't have any issues with the neck on mine. I know a lot of people have had theirs shipped with a loose neck. I have the Magna that I have. He has like a loose leg. I've been trying to fix. So hopefully I can do that. But yeah, I really love this set altogether.
Bobby had a bad time trying to make the shuttle mode work with the wings plugged in. Have you seen that on yours?
No, like on mine was pretty easy. They just kind of go in. Yeah. I mean, the only thing I can really think of that there's clearance issues with getting this like the thrusters out, and all these tabs are a little bit. I don't want to use the word finicky, but you just have to be really mindful of a bunch of small tabs and where and how they lock in. And once you get it all together, it's good. I love the fact that you can put the wings in different configurations, like to save space and make it a little bit more G1. I'm going to flip the wings around and get some Autobot symbols on there. I got the feet in the right configurations, and because G1 animation was all over the place, like, you know, I'm cool with the coloring of them. But I think this dude's pretty good masterpiece scaled Skylinks. Like when you get him in hand, he's huge, and I mean he dwarfs the Fans Toys Dinobots, and that's all I wanted. And you know, it's really evocative of Call of the Primitives to have them all, you know, next to each other. A couple more things, or should say a few more things. I got my masterpiece. I got my Studio Series Barricade. I keep thinking masterpiece, but he's
Far
cool.
from.
Yeah, no, I mean he's far from, but he's a fun figure, and like when you have him next to Bumblebee, like I know Dave hates Studio Series, but when you have him next to Bumblebee, they look pretty good.
He's close to your masterpiece.
I don't hate him. I'm just severely disappointed in him.
All right.
His arms stay better than the masterpiece.
It's debatable for me.
For mine, they lock. The window, the glass part, it locks completely tight. But on the masterpiece, it doesn't for me.
See, on mine, the masterpiece, it all locks. So, maybe I could take a look at yours one day, because there's a trick to the wheels, getting those wheels like to lock into the arms.
Oh no, I got the wheels in, but the actual like glass part that becomes his forearm.
Mine everything's like solid as a rock.
Solid as a rock.
Oh boy, I knew we were going there. But I mean, the only thing I have a problem with on the deluxe is that the speaking of the deluxe Baldwin said, "Man, I just took a giant ass poop."
Not shocked.
I mean, as long as the waist swivel is sound on it, I guess I might be interested.
This has no waist swivel.
There we go. I have no interest.
I also got World War II Bumblebee, and this one I will say is kind of
Your favorite?
Nah. He has
Now,
a
wait
waist
a minute.
swivel.
You said you wanted a solid waist swivel, and that is a solid waist swivel.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's so solid it doesn't move at all.
He got you there.
He's got me on that one.
This Bumblebee has a waist, but other than that, he's kind of a block. But he looks neat, and he's very unique. But my biggest problem with him is, like, of all the Studio Series, he feels he's made out of like incredibly cheap. The same, like when you get like one of those like plastic Easter eggs, that's what he feels like he's made out of, and that's not
terrible.
Yeah, it really is. It's like the Studio Series has been like making really good strides, and then you get a figure like this, and you're like, ugh.
I saw somebody take all the car parts off that and actually make it into the car.
Yeah, you can like show you. Yeah, make sure I got this focused. But it's
the
like
experience points you earn each week.
It's really, really shell formery. Like it's like the top's a shell and the bottom's a shell, and
that's like Beast Wars 2 shell former. That's like robots and original car robots in disguise shell former.
Yeah.
Well, no, but it's not like going to make you curse the world trying to transform it.
Remember Thunderblast? She was like the ultimate shell former. You just close the wings and then boom, she's done.
But yeah, there's a lot of it there. But on the flip side, I got the absolute best Studio Series figure, and that is Jetfire. And he's amazing. And man, Dave, I gotta tell you, like, even if you're like not sold on Studio Series, if you get this figure, it will probably change your mind. I mean, he's just awesome. He's sturdy. He's got a really unique transformation. The materials are great. The paint is really awesome. The articulation is there. And he's not a Partsformer, despite the fact that he combines with the Prime.
Not that being a Partsformer is bad.
Not that being a Partsformer is bad, but this figure is just it's top shelf. And then I also got the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Megatron, because I love G2, and this guy looks like a salad. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love G2, so I had to have this guy. So, and actually, you know what? In hand, the paint is a lot better. Shout out to Chuck. He's known as 30. He pointed out that the head sculpt is actually like a perfect tooling for a Gladiator Megatron. So it's probably likely they may do like a leader class Megatron and give him like drills and all kinds of extra armor bits, kind of like Shockwave. I wouldn't rule it out.
Couldn't even paint the head purple.
Yeah, they'll probably call it Megatronus, like a leader class Megatronus.
No, I'm saying for that G2 Megatron, they couldn't even paint his head purple.
It wasn't. That's the Combat Hero version.
Oh.
Yeah, there were like multiple versions of Prime and Megatron. There's Laser Rod, and for Prime there's Laser Rod and Combat Hero, and then there was just the regular G2.
That's a prototype color scheme.
So one thing, they made an improvement. Nate Simmons is asking about this, and the head still does drop down, but it's not as egregious. Like, so if you push the head all the way in, that back ball joint there, you see like what they were going for. So you can kind of lock it in, and the head still turns and everything with it pushed all the way down. So I think with the original Megatron, they missed the locking point. And this kind of like there are like some detents in here. So like when you get this panel in, you kind of feel it do like a soft detent in. And it's not the sturdiest connection, but you can actually hold him by the head now, and it stays in place. So minor improvement to the mold there. But one thing on mine, at least, this ankle just does not click in. It doesn't lock in. It stays, but like with this one, yeah, you get like a hard lock.
I have that problem with my original Megatron. That one foot does not tab back in.
Yeah, but otherwise, he is pretty solid.
I figured out how to fix that. If you drop the foot down and then squeeze it in, it'll lock.
Oh no, it does. On this one, it does not. It doesn't do the hard lock
at all.
That one. Mm-mm. On that one foot, at least on mine. So, is what it is. I know that's like a defeatist thing to say, but it's everything holds together solidly. I'm overall happy with it, so I'm not gonna knock it too hard. But one thing, I know we talked about Voltron a little bit. Do you guys, to go back to that topic, what do you guys think that the price is going to be? I think because it's sold Shigoken, I think that when they finally get it in stock, since we actually had this on the dock, we're going to talk about it. I think that the actual stock's going to be $275 to $300. I want to know whether you guys think that Bondi and retailers are going to try and pull a fast one on folks because they know what the secondary market is willing to pay for it.
I think it's already been. I think it's known that it's 280, 290, depending. I think I think that's already. I think that's factual. In fact, Nate Simmons and Sportimus are both saying it's 300 on the dot.
Yeah.
With shipping, right?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Because I think it was 290 without the shipping.
So I'm fully prepared to drop 3 on it. 320, whatever.
I think I'm still going to skip it.
I mean, so T, I got a question for you. You got to review it. You got to go hands-on with it.
Mm-hmm.
What really is... So for me, I think it's a perfect figure. It's a figure that I cannot not have in my collection. I've always been very happy to have one. So for you, what's your reason for skipping? Is it that you kind of had your time with it and you're cool, or?
Yeah, it was fun playing with it. I mean, if I had it, I would like it, but I know I would never touch it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't too fun to manipulate. Like, it's posable, but not extremely posable. So it wasn't as fun as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Well, I mean, I know for you, you're more of like you're a hands-on collector. You like the toy element.
Mm-hmm.
I see. I kind of I take mine off the shelf every now and then. I enjoy manipulating it. So for me, I'm careful with it. I wear kid gloves when I mess with it. I still feel that there's a sense of durability to it. I'm not worried about it breaking so
thing,
much.
I think it should have been bigger too for the price. I was
Uh,
almost feeling like I don't know if 300. Now looking at what we're paying for Transformers and crap now, yes, it's worth it. But when I had it originally, I was like, yeah, I don't know if this is worth $300.
So like my understanding of Soul Jigoken is like they're figures that are all that like they're all mecha designs that are in scale with one another. At least that's how TJ had explained it to me. Because I remember I said it'd be awesome if they made Soul Jigoken. What were the mechs from Zone of the Enders called? Runners? No, Runners were the pilots. I'm overthinking it now, but he said like, yeah, they'd be really tiny because one of the points of Soul Jigoken is that they're all in scale with one another.
I gotta contest that because this is a Soul Jigoken gunbuster, and that thing is friggin' huge in the anime.
Mm.
And I'm looking at the Megazord versus Voltron, and I know that the Lions would. One of those, I'm looking at the Lions versus the Saber-toothed Tiger, and those two would not be the same size.
But I think the Megazord is bigger than Voltron.
I thought it was the other way around. But
I think Voltron's bigger than the Megazord, but the Soul Jigoken Megazord is smaller, slightly smaller than Voltron, and they were the same price. Now the Megazord does more, but because of the engineering to allow it to combine, and granted it does more than a standard Bandai Megazord would do. It just doesn't have the tooling that the Voltron has. And then I got the Gypsy Danger, and I know there were some folks that had problems with the Gypsy Danger, but I thought the Gypsy Danger was amazing. And there's a figure that doesn't have to combine or it doesn't need to. And it's a solid, hefty piece, and it looks really cool. I know a lot of people don't like the original design. I did, and I like the original Pacific Rim better than the second one, of course. So, it's a really cool piece to have on a shelf. But, you get that Gypsy Danger, and it's like, man, this is a really nice piece. And it's even heftier. I got to weigh them, but, in hand, it feels heavier than the Voltron. So I feel like when, and then there's Gal Gaigar. Gal Gaigar is probably my favorite SOC piece. When you guys come over, you'll have to check that one out. But I feel like with SOC, you really get what you pay for, and I'm glad that they adhere to, a price. Their price is on the high end, but you really do get what you pay for. You get a boat, and in the Gypsy Danger case, you actually get the fucking boat. You get like a boatload of accessories. And then if there's no reason, they cut the price down. Like, so the Dragon Zord was like $100 less than the Megazord because it just was the Dragon Zord and the staff. There's like literally nothing else they could do with it. They didn't even bother to do effects pieces. They're just like, now we're going to cut the price out. I think Goldie Marg was the same, and Lightan was the same. So if it's significantly smaller, they scale down the price.
Missed opportunity with that Dragon Zord.
What do you mean?
I wanted finger missiles.
Yeah, finger missiles would have been cool. I mean, it has the hand, but
no, I want. They should have had freaking finger missiles.
But yeah.
As far as Voltron goes, I can say, like, I've never manipulated one. I've seen one in person on a shelf, and I can say, again, without having touched it and only going on reviews, I don't know, like, just to have it look. I'm a guy that likes, my collection's always in motion. I always mess with stuff. Like, whoever comes over here and looks at my shit, it's all kind of chaotic because I mess with it. I don't, I'm not the type that tries to get it set just perfect and then walk away. So, but I'm willing to make that exception for this figure.
It's fun. The individual lines were definitely fun because of the posability in their arms and their legs. So even separate, they were fun, especially the limb lines.
I think it says a lot too about this release coming back. Not only
they
that,
almost never do releases.
What's that?
They almost never do re-releases.
Yeah, I mean the demand is there, and they realize, hey, we're losing a lot on the secondary market, and it also paved the way for the vehicle Voltron. But it really is a testament to patience saving pockets, and if there's not a re-release, there's always going to be a better, a bigger and better version that comes down. With MP44, and I'm not opening that discussion up again, but for those who find it too expensive now, if you wait, I guarantee there will be some sort of release that makes it affordable. No, I'm not talking about KOs, not advocating KOs, but I'm just stating that when MP10 came out, it was pushing 280, and that was in 2010.
How much do you think it will be without a trailer?
I would hope that it would be about 150. And even then, I still think that's a bit on the expensive side.
Yeah, it'll probably be more like 200.
Yeah, I was going to say 200.
I think prices will stabilize a bit. I think things will start to come down a little bit, and it's just it's the nature of the beast. I think that the people that are predicting that Takara is trying to spread their money around because of losing Pokemon, and I'm going to get into that next. Like, Pokemon is big business.
Yes.
So to lose
That's
that,
the new movie.
Yeah. So to completely change gears, what do you guys think about that new Detective Pikachu trailer?
I'm so on board with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me way more excited.
I have no emotional attachment to any Pokemon at all. I have never played a Pokemon game. I have not watched a complete episode of Pokemon. I am interested in this movie.
I think that they're doing a really good job at marketing with this movie. I think that they're coming in at a time, really, I would say, the height of Ryan Reynolds' career, and his popularity, I should say, not his career.
Did you see his trailer? His trailer?
Yeah, I did.
That was funny too.
Yeah, and I think it was a smart move getting an actor to play Pikachu that kind of appeals to so many demographics right now, coming in with the designs. And it's funny how it took them that long to get the designs in the Bumblebee movie, like, to be modern but appeal to the core audience. Not, it doesn't have to be hardcore fans, but it has to be recognizable to the core audience. And it's really cool to see that, this first at bat live action attempt, they nailed the designs. Like, they're not so far deviated from the source material. They gave them their own flair. They made them recognizable, and they made them cool,
realistic enough.
Yeah,
like, they're not going for hyper real creepy, but they're not going for cartoon on the screen like Roger.
Some of them are creepy. You see Lickitung?
Yeah,
they
Mr.
are.
Mr. Mime.
Yeah.
But
that's the design, though. I mean, that's
but Charizard looks awesome.
Yeah. and it's like, but that's kind of cool, man. It's like that little creepy factor. It reminds me of a Tim Burton thing, like an old Tim Burton movie. And I think
some animals are creepy in real life, so it's.
I really think that this movie is going to be like capturing lightning in a bottle.
I think you're right.
It's coming in when like Pokemon's having a resurgence. Not that Pokemon's ever like
going for good.
Yeah, it's always been like and really, if you think about like China as a market, man, it's been like number one entertainment or children's entertainment property in the world. It's insane. So, I can understand like why Takara was like paranoid after losing that license.
I'll tell you what I appreciate too about this movie is that they chose a story. It's not they're not doing a Pokemon movie to do a Pokemon movie. It's not
Right.
like here's Trainer going to the friggin', going to go get gym badges and all this. Some shit that we've seen 1,000 times over that they do well, but it doesn't necessarily translate into a movie. They're like, hey, here's the Pokemon world. Let's set a story in it. That's what I like, that it's Detective Pikachu, that it's not following tradition, that it's a whole different avenue that they're going down, that it's living in that world rather than showing you that world that you've seen that perspective before. We've seen that
technically
perspective.
it's a Pikachu. It's not the
Right.
Pikachu.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, there's
I
multiple
heard of
Pikachu?
Yeah, they're animals. I mean,
Yeah, they're yeah.
I didn't know that.
But like in the first season, like weren't there dogs and birds and shit, like actual other animals?
I heard in the manga there were.
When Ash is in Pallet Town, I thought there were actual dogs. I could be wrong.
Remember that.
I could be wrong, but I think I'm going to go. That's totally accurate, unless somebody proves me otherwise.
I heard in the manga that like they
Michael,
had dinosaur fossils and everything.
in the manga, Michael Vick is the greatest Pokemon trainer.
Yes.
Okay, I'm curious in the Pokemon world, are there creationists, even though they're seeing evolution in front of them?
There's a Pokemon god, so possibly.
There is.
They literally have a god in a desert
Yeah, you can literally capture the god Pokemon.
and use them in your.
So that might answer your question there. I don't know. I just think their approach to this is going to be, like you said, lightning in a bottle. I mean, they know you put Pokemon on the big screen, it could be anything. You're going to get people out to see it. I mean, beyond the animated movies, there's an excitement factor about being the first live action Pokemon thing.
Right.
Hollywood backed.
They got Ryan Reynolds.
And to be fair, like this is, if I'm remembering correctly, and someone can correct me, but I think this is Nintendo's first live action movie since the Mario Brothers movie.
Well, where they've actually been directly involved, like
right?
Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are like directly involved.
And you know what's more exciting about this than Pokemon is that I pray this leads to Metroid and Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Whether that's a movie.
Why
or
is there
Netflix.
not a Legend of Zelda?
Yeah.
I think they're so afraid of taking risks, and the irony is like this movie is a huge risk with arguably their biggest franchise, their biggest moneymaker, and it's the biggest risk they've taken with a movie since the Mario Brothers movie. And the Mario Brothers movie failed because it was such a deviation from the source material. It wasn't recognized at all. And now they are going back and doing another Mario movie with what's the company that does this? Yeah, Illumination.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. Like Metroid would be a far lower risk because the core audience of Metroid is not going to be impacted. It opens up the gate to make more Metroid merchandise, which is sorely needed. I mean, yeah, my cousin is all excited. He actually ordered that first 4 figures Ridley statue, and I'm like, man, power to you. But I got no place to put that, and I don't have $600 for a Ridley statue.
But then again, Metroid collectors do because they have nothing to spend their fucking money on.
There you go. Yeah. So it's a blue ocean, man. It's like something that I don't think would be that big of a risk, but Nintendo somehow feels it is. I mean, that's the thing about Nintendo is they're one big conundrum. Like they're risk takers, but then they're afraid to take risks.
But then their core stories are all so different, and they fit in these own little these individual categories. Like got, if you want your action adventure fantasy, you've got Zelda's already in place. If you want a horror aspect and a sci-fi, obviously you've got your I mean, they're so different. Like they cover all the spectrum. I don't get that.
The thing about Zelda, man, is that it's like the lowest risk because most every Zelda story is its own story in its own timeline, and it's never really officially been established that each Zelda connects. So it could be its own timeline, its own story, and
yep.
how hard is it really to tell that story of getting the Triforce back together, like make your own Lord of the Rings.
I mean, do it Netflix style. Like Castlevania is a thing that is very good. That is popular, I hope, and good enough to get toys anyway.
Yeah,
and it's a good show.
I think it would be cool to have, play on the fact, have Link and actually make him a mute hero, and have, that be like his challenge, and make the movie interesting because he's a hero that can't speak for himself. And then you have the audience empathize for him through his facial expressions, like where the audience kind of knows what he's thinking, what he's feeling, based on how you've played the games. And then the world around him just has difficulty understanding him, and that adds the difficulty of his quest.
So he's going to be a green bumblebee.
Basically, yeah.
But then I won't get to hear him say, "Well, excuse me, princess."
God, no.
Will he be able to say, "Yeah"? What?
No, God, no. Please don't. I mean,
will he break jars?
Yes.
I wonder too if Spirits Within scared them away some. Final Fantasy, Spirits Within.
Because that had nothing to do with Final Fantasy.
I think with that, like, and even there, like, Square realized the error of their ways because they did Advent Children and they made the movie that everybody wanted. That was, that wasn't just a CG movie with Final Fantasy slapped on the label.
Yeah.
And like Advent Children does gangbusters, and they do like screenings of it, and kids cry at conventions when they see it. I'm not kidding.
I even purchased it.
Yeah, I purchased it.
I don't buy DVDs.
I mean, they came up with some bullshit reason for Sephiroth to come back, but you had to have that fight.
Yeah, what was it, like the Children of Genova or something?
They merge, I think. I can't remember.
Yeah, they merged to become him for one
fight.
Yeah.
What I forgot what they're called.
Like the Children of Genova, and they like used her DNA or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time since I saw it. In fact, when I first saw it, I remember it's been so long. That was the movie that got me to install VLC, and I had to install a subtitle package, and it was like a really bad sub. But
let's see, fond memories.
Then I did buy it when it came out on DVD, and then the dub wasn't all that much better at helping you figure out what the movie was actually about.
And then someone said, I think Cloud needs more swords.
Yes.
And they gave him more swords.
And more motorcycles.
And more motorcycles with swords in the motorcycle.
Weren't they actually all the swords you got in Final Fantasy VII?
Probably.
I don't know. I never thought of it that way.
Because you got multiple swords in that game.
I just did.
He kept changing he could change the hilts and all that stuff, and
he could fill materia up into the hilts. I mean,
I heard you like swords, so he put swords in your swords.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Final Fantasy VII's up for pre-order for the Switch. I hear. I haven't seen the price tag yet.
Probably $20.
The PlayStation version.
Where my Chrono Trigger?
For the price of a PlayStation Classic, you can get Final Fantasy VII on your Switch.
Fuck it. I'll buy it again. I got it. That's why I would get the Classic, so just skip it. I already got a Switch.
So,
I'm gonna get it again.
So speaking of swords, and more swords, you guys feeling those cartoon NECA Ninja Turtles?
I want them.
I've
tried 3 times now, and I've not found them.
Joe, do you have the Figuarts Turtles?
No.
So, I have a conundrum. And my conundrum is this. I want the NECA Turtles, but I have the Figuarts Turtles. And I thought, I really want the Shredder and the Krang out of it, and kind of the Foot Soldiers. And I was thinking, I'll get those and I'll sell the NECA Turtles, but I don't think anybody will want them. I'm thinking maybe I should get the NECA sets and sell my Figuarts Turtles.
No.
And so,
see, the Shredder and the Krang and all that's part of the reason why I do want that set. Plus the price. I think aren't the Figuarts Turtles still like $50 at Barnes and Noble?
Yeah, give or take. But
I got to see those figure arts turtles on sale. I mean, at one point during like one of the crazy sales, they're going for like $30 each.
I spent 25 a piece.
I got all 4 of them for $100.
Well, yeah, but they were in my hand, and it just hit me when I was holding them. I never liked the cartoon.
What?
Really? And I'll tell you exactly why.
Dave, that next thing you feel is me booting you from the chat.
Dude, listen, I loved the original comic. When the whole turtle craze first came out, my dad bought me the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic because he thought it was the kids' one. He got me the first trade paperback of the Mirage stuff, which was very different.
And then you had your first beer.
No, but but the thing is, and again, that's kind of the reason why I was talking about earlier. The IDW comic by Peter Eastman, absolutely amazing, and it's one of the reasons why I like the movie Turtles. That was based off the original comic. I like my Shredder being competent. I like my Ninja Turtles being ninjas. It's one of the reasons why I like the Nickelodeon cartoon, because it paid a lot of homages to the original stuff. And I'm passing on these cartoon ones because it just hit me. I just don't like the cartoon.
They had a Technodrome, Dave. Technodrome.
What I like about those is
the IDW
cartoon
one has a better Technodrome.
Ooh.
But the cartoon turtles are pretty much the same design as the video game, the arcade game.
Yes, they are.
So you can use. I mean, the foot soldiers are a little different, but everything. I mean, they're pretty damn close.
Yeah,
the NECA turtles are definitely the video game turtles. Well, that's Figure Arts is the cartoon.
Zero.
Yeah, but I think the NECA foot soldiers are cartoon and not video game. They did do a video game. They did an arcade set, but the 2-packs.
This is the arcade set painted with Toon colors.
Yeah.
That's what this is. This is the arcade set painted with Toon colors. Those foot soldiers have the same guns from the arcade set. That big weird rifle was definitely from the arcade set.
I don't know what the difference is in the turtles though, other than just the paint. Because I know the arcade set they painted it to look pixelated, but
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
I just gotta say, like, I spent so much time like playing that arcade game as a kid. And I mean, I arguably may have spent more time playing the NES port than actually watching the show. And it's really awesome to have the options. Like, it just, the thing that pains me is that Figure Arts had a shredder. They had it basically ready to go, and they canceled it due to perceived lack of interest for the Turtles line, yet the Turtles figures are still available, and I still see them in shipments to stores. Well, stores being Barnes & Noble and online retailers. So it's unfortunate that...
I think they just overproduced those.
Yeah, and I think that they came with a lot of unnecessary accessories. I think that they probably could have done without like the extra faces and like the sewer lid and I
disagree on the faces. I like extra faces.
I look at those. I mean, did you guys, TMan, did you ever get those Playmates turtles?
No.
Oh, the movie ones, or
yeah, and they actually made versions of those in the cartoon ones. I actually have 2 of them, and that's kind of
the ones they had at Walmart a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
I bought them. I was excited to buy them, but they were disappointing to me, and then I sold them.
But I'm just saying. But I mean, just for me, that's kind of how I look at both this NECA one and I looked at those figure art ones.
This is what I wanted those Walmart turtles to look like.
And you know what? That's got me happy. That has made me very happy. I didn't think I wanted those. I was going to pass on those movie turtles until I saw them in hand. I have seen those cartoon ones, and I'm just like, I can walk past them.
I probably can too. I want the Shredder, but then I'm like, as soon as I buy that set with Shredder and I'll have an extra Leonardo, they're going to announce that SH Figure Arts is going to release their Shredder. I'll
see.
make
I hope
money.
that's the case. I really do.
I'm like it.
I will
I
say
want
too,
to
Jordan,
make me a
your
6-inch movie
original,
shredder. That's what I want.
and we'll get that. I'm sure we'll get that.
So yeah, I'll just be patient. I
But
can live with that. I can wait.
Your original question was about the sets, if you wanted to buy them. I think, Jordan, if you kept the bad guys, the villains, and you sold the turtles as a set, I think you'd probably be able to get some money back on them. I think if you just kept them together and saved somebody the trouble of tracking it down that just wants cartoon turtles, you'd probably be able to offload them.
Yeah, and then have the Figuarts ones as my turtles.
Was it $52 a set for the two?
Yeah.
I mean, you get $20 back per turtle or so.
Yeah,
you know.
I think NECA knew what they were doing because they'd get people like me in that position. Like I said it from the get go. I said, watch them do something scummy, like have like Leonardo and Shredder paired together, and then
Donatello and Krang.
Yeah,
and then go ahead.
And then Raph and Leo coming with foot soldiers, and they did exactly that.
That's not the scummy thing.
What's the scummy thing?
The scummy thing was the fact that, well, one, they gave Michelangelo the most accessories. And then they gave Donatello extra hands that are meant for Raphael.
Yeah.
Well, technically, Michelangelo should have the most accessories because of what they had to do in the UK.
Oh, but I like the fact that they did that because also a lot of those accessories are universals, like the grappling hook.
Yeah.
And they gave Mike all that stuff, which is just like, okay, dude, that's just a really good action figure.
Well, since you didn't watch the cartoon, they swapped out, even though he's known for having the nunchucks.
I know they gave him the grappling hook.
Oh, okay.
I'm not that dumb.
For what it's worth, Nate Simmons wants to know where the Splinter, Casey Jones, the Supper Shredder is NECA. So he actually has Supper Shredder.
Shredder.
I think that's
he's really into his turtle soup. Is what he's.
I think that's a breakthrough there. I think you got to make that a thing that happens.
I would, again with the movie stuff, I would love a movie Casey Jones. I would love a movie Shredder. Yep. Movie Foots. I mean, all that movie stuff is great. Toku, Raza. I mean, but I will say the Bebop and Rocksteady do look pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I'm getting them. I don't care what those I'm getting.
They'll be in a 2-pack.
They're in a 2-pack. That's good. Oh.
No, they'll be in with 2 more generic foot soldiers, but different colors.
Oh, Jesus.
Also not a bad thing.
On the topic of Super Shredder, how disappointed were you when you were a kid when Super Shredder rolled out?
And didn't do anything.
And he just committed suicide. He knocked down all the pillars of the pier. He's coming towards the turtles, oh, we're doomed, dude. And then,
they could only afford Kevin Nash for just that 2 scenes there, and then they were done. Then they couldn't pay him anymore. We're done.
I was almost disappointed with how they killed the Shredder in the first movie. He rushed Splinter, and he got a keyed over the edge.
Into a trash compactor.
You're a ninja master. Why do you rush?
It didn't bother me as a kid, but I do. I've watched it, several times, and it's he's so buff, he's so huge, he can knock down those piers like nothing. But then a bit of wood falls on him, and that was it. I remember I'm waiting for him. Is he gonna get up from that? I'm no, that's it. Okay, all right.
I think I was still listening to Ninja Rap in my head at that point. I actually like that.
I may have had it on a playlist as recently as last year. So
when I worked for Verizon and I got one of the first, it wasn't a smartphone, but a phone that I could hack and put my own ringtones on. Go Ninja Go is my ringtone.
He composed that song while they were in the club. How did he know all that shit?
You watched the first movie?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, right. Has anybody ever
I will accept that answer.
Has anybody ever seen Cool as Ice?
Yes. Oh.
No.
It was horrible.
God. Yeah. Just do a YouTube search for Cool as Ice, man, and you'll. It's a feature film about Vanilla Ice, but not as Vanilla Ice. It's Vanilla Ice being a character that's a caricature of himself. It's like, so
What?
if you have,
Watch the Nostalgia Critic review of it.
yeah.
Listen, Cool as Ice is like the worst. Like, it's like how Purple Rain was to Prince, except utter fail, where the other one was utter success.
Basically, yes.
That's the easiest way.
Yeah, that's
No.
no.
I think JonTron did a review. Watch
He
his.
did, yeah.
His is the best. You won't even have to go see the real movie. Just watch that. It's hilarious.
I'll put it on my list.
Now where are we?
Speaking of watching, is anybody else finished Umbrella Academy?
I haven't even started.
I haven't started.
Oh
Man, get
Slowly
on.
working through it. It's not something I can binge because it's
Harry
good.
Dave.
And
you guys can do your own B-side. You can just go live and
Hey, are we doing one for Alita Battle Angel?
I want to try to go see that this weekend.
I need to see it. I need to see it. I just saw Amazon, by the way. If you are a big fan of Alita like I am, you might still be able to get it. You can get the complete comic collection in hardback for $107.
You lost me at $107.
Yeah.
It's considering it's like 8 manga volumes in a hardback. That's a fantastic price.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Okay, once again, I almost named my daughter after this character. I am a very hardcore fan. I have read everything. I read the side stories. I accidentally got spoiled where I saw how one particular character changes and his all the costumes are just dead on from the comic.
now.
Everything I could nitpick is being done right.
How close is the comic to the OVA?
The OVA is a very condensed version of like the first couple stories.
Okay.
So the OVA has like at one point the OVA is only 2 episodes, and it has Alita fighting this one guy who's got these razor blade fingers. That guy is actually 2 characters in the comic. Yeah, the book is I loved the OVA, and then I read the comic, and it's just like the comic is so much better. The art is so good.
Yeah, because I got around to rewatching the OVA. Like, it's all on YouTube actually.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have it on DVD. I actually have it on DVD.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of stuff in the movie, and I save it for the B-side. That's like it's just like tit for tat. So I want to pick your brain on that when you.
There's even more that's tit for tat. That's the crazy part. Until we see the B-side, there's one particular character. I saw pictures of him, and my jaw dropped of who the main bad guy is.
Yeah,
and it was just like, holy.
You know the actor or
both the cast is dead on. I could not think of a better analog for all the casts on that. Like,
yeah, maybe except for Sharon.
Sharon, Ed Sheeran's in it.
No. What's her name? Jennifer Connelly. Like I don't think she's that good of
her character wasn't that important in the book, to be honest.
No, but she's still,
I'm just happy to see Jennifer Connelly getting some work, to be honest.
Yeah, no, likewise. So
she needs to eat, all right?
Yeah.
You might as well be talking another language.
You should go see Alita Battle Angel, and that's the other thing too, man. It's like, where are the figures for that? Like NECA, come on now.
Yes, I am behind that 110%.
Or Figma.
Actually, no, Mafex.
Yeah, because the soft goods.
Well, Mafex has been doing, with Kingsman, John Wick. They're doing a very good job of these live action.
RoboCop.
Yeah.
I want to get that RoboCop. It's on my short list.
So, T-Man, question I have about that Fortnite figure.
Huh?
Not that one, the other Fortnite figure.
What about him?
So I was watching a review, which everybody who's watching the show should watch the review on these figures.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about how the hoodie prevents his head from turning.
Yes, it's aggravating because he has super articulation, but the back of his head, I've turned it so much I've ripped his hood off the side of his head. I can see that the back of his head is square, and there's a square indentation in the back of the hood so it can fit in there. But whenever you turn it, no matter how hard you turn it, it goes right back.
Okay, I just saw a gap in the plastic.
Yeah. That was when I did this. You could see through the hood.
Okay, so you're just from stressing it.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was actually possible to if it would be viable to actually cut the hood.
Where? Back here?
Yeah, okay. I was hoping that the collar would have been around the hood.
No, that's what I mentioned in the review. Like, I wish that they would have made the collar come up to here, and the hood was a separate piece, but just glued to the top of his head.
Yeah, kind of like they did with the Homecoming Spidey.
Yeah. But I may go in there and cut the glue out. On this side, it's a lot more glue than on the other side. So I may cut the back of his head out of there and see what goes on with that. But I didn't want to mess it up too bad for the review.
I love everything about that figure except its backpack.
Yeah, and the backpack they didn't cheap out with this plastic. This is some heavy plastic. It's not hollow, and it makes them back heavy a little bit.
I was just saying, like, that would make a very good generic weird bad guy.
Yeah, and they scale with the turtles. They're a little bit taller because turtles aren't supposed to be tremendously tall.
I'm curious about the lifespan of Fortnite.
Yeah. But they could go with Marvel Legends as well, because you could just say that they're slender basketball player type people.
I predict they might be able to get one more wave out of this.
Yeah, I mean, because Apex Legends seems to be the next hot thing.
It's fun.
It could, you know. It's like that whole battle royale market right now. It's like so unpredictable.
Yeah, I've been playing Tetris 99, which is a battle royale.
I mean, sort of. I mean, the battle royale shooters.
Apex Legends, I mean, it's killed people like games like H1Z1. I don't even know if anyone even plays the Black Ops version of it, of the battle royale.
Is Apex free?
Yes. We talked about this last week. Didn't you? Go watch last week's episode. I sing great praise of this game.
I fell asleep on that part.
It is a free game. It is 3-on-3. It's got a great communication system. It is very user friendly.
And it has Joe breathing heavy in the background.
Jesus.
That would never happen. I like that you can like call stuff out in that game. Like, I don't know why that's something that's no one's ever really thought to do, but it's neither you see an enemy or ammo or whatever, and you can actually like tag it, and then your teammates can actually see it on their HUD.
Yeah.
I can't remember but do you actually fight other people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 3. It's all teams of 3. And the idea is every 2 minutes, the map gets smaller and smaller. And the idea is to be the last team standing. And I actually have been the last team standing about 5 times. So
well,
I'm not saying I'm good, but I've actually won, which I've never done in any of the other games.
What was your best in Tetris 99?
2, second place.
That's pretty good. My best so far was 12th.
I made it to 7 while we were talking earlier.
Oh, so, yeah, I'm just kind of curious, man, because it's like Fortnite held a spot for so long, and it's like, oh, now it's time for merchandise, and it seems like the moment they start getting all the merchandise out there, the game kind of gets dethroned a bit, and
that's kind of how it happens.
Oh, absolutely. It's just, it's the nature of things. Like, it's so hard to cash in on popularity.
Honestly, I think EA shot themselves in the foot with this game.
Anthem?
Yeah, because they released that Apex Legends, like 2 weeks before this came out.
But I don't think that's them shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, with Anthem, there was so much controversy going in because it started first. The first controversy was with the release structure. They had the staggered release with the people that on Origin, and you had the people in the Origin Premium access got access to the game first, and they staggered it out to EA access, and the people that bought the Digital Deluxe Premium Edition. Then people found out that part of the end game content, you have to do like really arbitrary grind quests that really aren't tied to story progression. Like, you have to advance the story by finding hidden items and killing X amount of enemies with the shotgun, and performing.
That's beginning game. That's not end game content.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not end game content. That's mid game.
But no, I'm saying just in general. It's like that.
He's saying that's the kind of thing you do at the beginning of a game.
Right. But you should that's stuff that you do is like dailies, like in that sort of game. Like I was an avid Destiny player for a number of years. I played through Destiny 2, participated in a lot of raids. They lost me with Destiny 2. It's Activision and their fuckery. But yeah. I really like Destiny, but they just the Activision just did some shitty stuff with the way they staggered things out, the pressure they put on Bungie, the fact that they made Bungie continuously ship incomplete packages in order to maximize profits. Annual passes and whatnot. You just kind of felt like you were being spoon-fed little bits of a game, and by the time you paid $260, you finally got a complete game, and then of course it was about to become irrelevant, which isn't really a good business practice. With like Anthem, there was a lot of contention going in because it's like, okay, well, everybody's skeptical of EA, everybody's kind of critical of EA, but BioWare is such a beloved company. It's really hard to. It was really hard to gauge the game. So, I ended up getting it because a buddy of mine and we played the shit out of Mass Effect 3's multiplayer. And he was just like, dude, you got to get this. You got to get this.
That was surprisingly good.
It was. And it was the most basic multiplayer. It was just a horde mode. So.
Did you ever get Mario Kart, Matt?
Nope.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's not something that I see that I'm going to get anytime soon.
Yeah, but that's like a game that like you like play with your kid, man. It's like a family game.
And they have the trainer wheels mode.
Yeah.
So he won't fall off the cliff.
I want to buy the game that you're playing right now.
You don't have this?
I don't have that yet.
On.
I need to finish Resident Evil 2. I actually need to start Doom because I bought that last year.
Doom 2016?
Yeah.
Wow.
Friggin' Red Dead Redemption 2, and then Link's Awakening will go to the front of the line whenever it comes out.
Oh, yeah.
I need to finish Resident Evil 2. That's
I need to finish just one of the campaigns.
And then Devil May Cry 5's on the horizon. I got to get that.
I played the demo to that. That made me feel like I don't know how to play video games. Something's weird about it.
I didn't know there was a demo out.
Yeah. You get to play as Nero. I don't like that his arms aren't permanent. You can have 4 different arms and use them up by. You can push the wrong button and use it by accident.
Huh.
And then he'll have no arm. He'll just only have one arm, I mean.
Isn't there a premium format Dante coming out? One of the companies.
I believe so. I think it's Mezco.
I'm looking just to see if I can find it.
I forgot I could become supersonic.
I don't see anything that's up for pre-order that's sticking out, so maybe it's not been solicited yet. I know something was announced. I just can't remember what company it was.
First. Nate Simmons says, already beat Resident Evil 2, rating for Mortal Kombat 11. Yeah, I can't wait for April.
He didn't beat Mortal Kombat 2. Did you beat all the campaigns? I beat 4 of them.
And unfortunately, Trustarscreamer's internet has run out.
AKA he got sleepy.
Well, I think now's a good time to wrap it up. I guess we will have the display discussion for next week, and I think I have my motivation to get my display set up since I will be a guest on Mr. Deluxe Baldwin's Floor Time series tomorrow. So I want to thank everybody again who tuned in and participated in the live chat and hung out with us tonight. We enjoyed having you. Once again, I am your host, ExtraZero. If you like what we're doing, again, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button and the notification bell so you see when we come out with additional content. We go live every Thursday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Pacific Time. Let's run down the panel, get some where you ats, starting with Partsformer.
I'm Partsformer.
I'm Carl.
I'm tired. I am Partsformer. I'm on Xbox Live and Instagram, which I've been a little more active on Instagram, so hopefully I'll be posting more pictures. I enjoy that quite a bit, so that's going to be a thing I'm going to try to do. I need to get better lighting, and I need to get a light box or just some kind of background. So those are all things that I'll probably just eventually cave and buy on Amazon or if I see it in the store. But I digress. Instagram, Partsformer, Twitter's Partsformer, Xbox Live Partsformer, and then here, Thursday nights.
Very cool. Mr. Joe Crab, how about you?
You can find me here Thursday night, and you can see me on our Instagram, Figure Action Podcast.
Very cool. Very cool. And if you don't know, he'll tell you. Just Google TMan 978, and you can find him all over the internet.
You can see me outside. How about that?
if you're in the greater Baltimore area, and you see a man awkwardly talking to himself down the toy aisle.
Can I ask for a spoiler for the floor time thing? Are y'all going to be like world building?
No, we're going to be. We are going to be. Since I'm a very big Optimus Prime fan, we're going to be doing our top 10 Optimus Prime figures.
Sweet.
Which means I need to go and grab Super Fire Convoy out of storage so he can be a part of that.
Is that official only?
We're doing third party and official. So, but certain, and it's the rules are you can allow other primes, so like Big Convoy and Leo Convoy, Optimus Primal. Well. Those sort of things, but no like Rodimus or Ultra Magnus variants. So honestly, we're just having fun with it. So
y'all are giving me an idea. YouTube's full of Let's Plays for video games. If we could do it the right way, everybody on the panel could be playing a different game, and I can just cycle through.
Spoiler alert!
I
Did you see this Partsformer?
Do what?
Did you ever see this was a thing?
No, I never saw that was a thing. Thanks.
It's the boss battle.
Thanks, jerk.
Yeah, because I could easily set my laptop up in front of my TV.
And I could literally just watch the chat and just when enough people shout out one of the games I want to watch, I'll switch to it. And then we'll cycle through.
Well, maybe we do a Figure Action Plays Games.
We're kind of doing that now.
I mean, I'm not. I'm in my office. I don't have access to video games in my office.
Oh.
Yeah, I can play games and breathe heavy.
I could go get my Switch. That's what I could do. And as for me, you can find me here with these fine gentlemen every Thursday night, unless I have stuff going on, but I hopefully shouldn't. You can find me with this fine crew every Thursday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can find me on the Facebook group as James Jordan. You can find me on Instagram at ExtraZero and Twitter at The Original Zero, and Xbox Live and PlayStation Network as ExtraZero. Been trying to make some time for PlayStation, and I definitely will be active when Mortal Kombat 11 comes out. So
I have PlayStation Plus now,
finally.
So maybe I can fight y'all in that.
You better. You got pre-ordered to get your Shao Kahn, which is kind of shitty. But anyway, we have been Figure Action. We've enjoyed having you, and we hope to see you all again next week. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.